Yo, what is good? I am very people. What is good? One Piece. Uh, I'm not actually surprised that I like Golden D. Roger even more. It does feel out of place that a lot of these things that are happening uh, have no real, like, deadly encounters, I guess you can say. But regardless, it does feel like we're getting just a recap of a bunch of places Luffy has adventured. And the one thing that's actually caught my attention the most is how old some of these characters actually are. For instance, like Frankie. I never really put Frankie in the same like age bracket, if not almost older, than Buggy and Shanks. It just kind of goes to show you that whatever experience in your actual field really does shape who you become in this world. Seeing how Buggy is kind of a bad example. I mean, he does survive and get away with the things that he gets away with, but to be fair, it doesn't feel like he um, reached the level that Shanks reached, right? Like they're on the same crew, but completely different characters that came out of it, right? One person who needs to rely on all of his crewmates and running away and retreating to survive. But I mean, he was like that as a kid, even on that ship. And another person who seemingly was the same as him, but in actuality really was about to scrap up for anything, I guess, you know? Like, they really just lug Buggy and Shakes together. He's not screaming out as much as Buggy, but he is nonetheless outmatched by a lot of the situations that were happening. So I was pleasantly surprised by what we learned on Roger's near death year journey that he has to make before death, which just kind of goes to show you yet again the urgency that he probably didn't want to tell Whitebeard, you know, someone who's like capable of fighting on par with him and stuff like that, or anybody in general. Like if you tell them that and then all of a sudden they just wait for you to die a year, your whole entire crew may be at risk, you know. So I think that's going to also lead us into his execution and stuff like that in the case of why certain characters aren't going to be there and what is ultimately going to happen thanks to his sacrifice and like why Rayleigh is just hanging out and stuff and clearly might not have fought to the bitter end to protect, you know, Roger, and this was like a choice he makes. But overall, I am honestly enjoying the crap out of what they've given us so far. I don't really see a lot more that they need to do for me, for people, I guess, to enjoy Roger's character. He seems like people should really be enjoying what we're getting right now. If not, let me know if you're not a fan of Roger's character. I would love to hear reasons, or if it's just like something simple as the voice actor or something along those lines. Okay, but overall, he's painted in this light of just this really ridiculously charismatic character that clearly is supposed to be enjoyed and liked. And it's so weird to me to think about all the people Luffy's met or, you know, Ace has met and they had no idea, or they find out through those characters that they've met, you know, Golden D. Roger, if that was ever brought up and stuff like that. So very, very awesome stuff. It looks like things are going to come to an end for his backstory sooner than later, seeing how they already gave us a time period of when he's going to pass, and after going and meeting up with Neptune, Neptune, we have a pretty good idea of what he's going to be doing next and what he's going to be looking for. and why it was such an interesting like significance that Luffy went down there in the first place and met the mermaid, that this was pretty much all based around being this supposed deadly weapon. So very, very interesting stuff, because their stuff is really weird how it works, because he's like, I hope you would never have came, because someone's going to break the gate. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of just random sea lions outside break the gate. It's like, oh, they're just trying to break in because they're anxious. Like, what? So that's what you've been worried about, and that's how minor it actually was in the grand scheme of it not being pirates coming in and trying to break down the gate to seize your daughter or something along those lines, right? So this could be another one of those things where uh, the deadly weapon aspect is not as deadly as, they're making it out to seem. So all that being said, take care everybody and have an awesome one. Peace.